right over. Yeah. Got it? He spun his head. He spun his head. And we have Alphonse in the pirogue here this evening. Just want to let you know, none of this is planned. Nothing that we're going to say is planned. Nothing we're going to do is planned. We're just here to have a good time and get rid of this guy. So that's what we're doing here this evening. So what I'd like to do right now is have Terry Laborde come up here and he's going to read an obituary for us. Thank you, Terry.
Wilbur?
We'll have him up here. We'll find him. Go ahead.
So you want me to start?
Yeah, we'll just go.
Ça fait de la peine, mes amis. Oh, ben, il est gone. Oh, qui tu crois, Randy? Oh, ben, oh, moi, il est peine. Bonjour, mes amis. Excuse-moi. C'est avec la chagrin que j'annonce la mortalité à M. Alphonse. Où c'était madame? Quel Alphonse, hein? C'est Alphonse. C'est tout ça qu'on a. Oh, Lord. Il a tragique. Il est mort, le pauvre bête. Je ne sais pas si c'était prédicté ou pas prédicté, mais comme ça, il a étouffé dans son sac à papier. Le pauvre bête. Alphonse était connu pour sa langue pointue. L'esprit de Cajun est capable de chagrin toutes les pollutions et c'est là qu'il voulait être des pollutions. Mais, mes amis, on va l'exposer à soir dans son sac à papier et il a tout été. Il a été aimé. Alphonse, sa demise est vue quand il était dans les bars et il tapait, il demandait à le monde un pôle dans la barre pour voir qui le bon croyait de cette affaire. Ça, Randy et Susan a décidé de vendre le journal à Daryl et Jay. Well, le service va prendre place à soir, à cette heure-là, à la brisière de Roucassé, ici à Maxville. Puis toutes des fleurs, elle demande à le monde de juste donner de l'argent, 10 piastres. Si tu veux prendre un portrait avec le pauvre Alphonse à soir, c'est tout bon. Tout l'argent va aller à faire une meilleure la paroisse de les Avoyelles avec Jake. Et pour faire des cultures et des études, programmes dans la paroisse de les Avoyelles. Les visiteurs y encouragés de partager des rires avec ce pauvre Alphonse. Dire une histoire avec ce Alphonse. Et on va le routir à soi. Le soir, on ne cuit pas trop. La rue cassée fait la bière. Tu peux voir en arrière. Écoute, à soir, la bière va rouler. Alphonse aimait beaucoup du Pachafa, mais il n'a jamais tourné un bon ami ou un Spring Bayou Blonds avant. Le monde qui est vu à soir et demandé si tu as un bain, tu peux le mettre sur ta tête, ça va aider. Mais c'est toi qui décides ça. Allons célébrer la vie, la légion et juste laissez bon temps faire de Alphonse. Ici, c'est la seule place où tu peux avoir un enterrement et toujours avoir un bon temps ici pour une bonne cause. Le monde qui va porter son cercueil plus tard, c'est du monde qui vient boire avec lui tous les soirs. Le monde en erreur qui va porter son cercueil, c'est des pollutions des années passées, comme Bill, Ça, c'est toi, Bill. Ou du monde dans la politique aujourd'hui, toujours. Comme Marc, qui est toujours dans la politique. Les arrangements pour s'asseoir, c'est sous la direction de monde qui travaille à la place de reboot de Marksville Dump. Okay? Et aussi un monde qui travaille pour le village de Marksville, sous John, dans une sewer department. Les proches prêtres, Todd LeBourd et Jake Caligari, ils vont faire le service plus tard. Et ça sera sur la station KPB 97.7 le Cajun, ici à Marksville. Vous avez connu Alphonse, il a été né sur les coteaux de les bayous de les Avoyelles. Mais il a profité quand il allait et s'assisait sur la galerie avec un monde. Et pour dire une histoire de qui était arrivé, parler de la pollution, quelque chose comme ça. Un petit garçon, Alphonse a été étudié dans les écoles de les Avoyelles. Mais je vais vous dire ça, il n'a pas resté moche dans les écoles. Il allait sur le bayou, il allait à la pêche, à la chasse et tout ça. Et il a travaillé beaucoup dur toute sa vie. Jusqu'à il a décidé de retard. Ah, c'est toi, Corlin. OK. Corlin ne comprend pas rien en français.
I'm from Bunkie. Gotta speak English.
I'm from Esmo, so we don't speak.
Closer than Mark.
OK. Mes amis, merci beaucoup pour venir asseoir, pour directer un avoir de Alphonse et Alphonse. Mon vieux chien va te manquer. Merci beaucoup.
Daryl, c'est vrai, il a tombé sur ton crayon? Il a crevé tombé sur ton crayon?
Il a tout fait dans son bag, Bill.
Avec son crayon?
Ouais.
OK.
Dans la pointe de
Oh, c'était pas du miel en Nino, ça.
Non, monsieur.
Thank you, Terry. So, for those of us that do not speak French, we got Wilbur Carboach over here. He's going to say it in English for us.
He's just some grower. Looks just like himself.
Hey, Todd, everybody ought to know French.
They ought to, but they don't. So then we got to go with Wilbur.
Alphonse A. Alphonse, 1978 to 2025. It's with a mixed sorrow and irony that we announce the passing of Mr., Mrs., or possibly Miss Alphonse A. Alphonse, who tragically, or perhaps predictably, suffocated in his own bed. Alphonse, known for his sharp tongue, Cajun wit, and uncanny ability to hound politicians and wannabe politicians alike, will be laid to rest in the only way fitting, a paper bag in a pirogue. Alphonse's sudden demise came while conducting one of his famous ballroom polls, this time about Randy and Susan's decision to sell the journal to State Representative Daryl. It was announced that a wake will take place on Tuesday, October 28th at 6 p.m. at Broken Wheel Brewery in Marksville. And y'all have come to pay your respects to Alphonse A. Alphonse. In lieu of flowers, mourners are asked to donate a minimum of $10 to take a photo with Alphonse one last time. All proceeds will go to building a better Avoyelles, supporting cultural and educational outreach across the parish of Avoyelles. Guests are encouraged to come share a laugh, tell a tall tale, and toast to a true Avoyelles original. Broken Wheel's locally brewed beer will be flowing. Alphonse's favorite was the Pachafa, though he never turned down good company and a few Spring Bayou Blonds. Mourners are asked to bring their own bags. Come celebrate the life, the legend, and lasting humor of Alphonse. In Avoyelles, even a funeral can be a good time for a good cause. So we're glad that you're here to pass a good time for a great purpose. Pallbearers will include some of the drinking buddies of Alphonse. Honorary pallbearers will be all the past and current politicians who want to come by to make sure Alphonse is really dead. I remember saying this same thing when I eulogized Miss Eleanor Gremion. That people were coming to make sure she was in that casket. Funeral arrangements have been entrusted under the direction of Avoyelles Parish Dump and Landfill, assisted by the Marksville Sewer Department. Mark, a lot of things will be clogged up tomorrow, John. When you better get ready. The almost Reverend Todd Laborde and Jay Caligari will conduct the services live while they're streaming on KAPV live stream. Born on the banks of Avoyelles Parish bayous, Alphonse A. grew up in an era where neighbors gathered to listen to the radio or swap, shop, or lave stories on porches, taught from childhood that all people were created equal. He naturally and stubbornly became a lifelong Democrat. Educated in the schools of Avoyelles Parish, though spending far too much time in the woods than the books, Alphonse cobbled together and worked life through odd jobs, colorful employment until finally settled into retirement. He is survived by his cousins, Alphonse Alphonse, T. Alphonse, Fonzie, Bubba Alphonse, and his loyal friend, Randy. Thank you for being here as we celebrate the life and death of
I had a tear, but I don't know what happened to that tear. Anyway, I'm gonna pull this off there so we can get this a little bit better. Get people speaking in here. But what I want to ask is, I see Susan over here, Susan the Queer. I got your daughter over here. So y'all come on up here a second. So I know it's a sad time. Well, stop smiling. This is what a sad time. So I know some family came in for the event. Some family of Alphonse. I don't know if you met them, at Red River Landing, or where did you meet them? Because they came in on the pirogue.
She did it in pirogue. We're not sure where they live, really. So we just have to go with it.
So I see they did make around to harvest food, as you can see. And, but you can introduce. Who wants to introduce the family? Oh, point.
We have the widow, Miss Alphonse A. We have possibly the new Alphonse, which will take over, T. Alphonse. We have, and he already has his newspaper ready to go in his hat. We have Fonzie, one of his daughters. We have twins, T-boy Alphonse and T-girl Alphonse.
See how they treat the family. This is terrible how you treat the family.
And of course, baby Alphonse. We don't know what that baby will grow up to be.
Let's put the family here so we can open some chairs.
All right, so the family's going to go here. And what we're going to do now is, yes, we have, see, okay, we don't plan anything here, so she's going to tell me, what do you got?
We have a little something planned that we would like to do now, if it's okay.
It's okay.
All right?
That poor widow.
think he got his
Sit down,
newspaper,
Randy.
Bill. Okay, we open some chairs here, please. Somebody sit down.
I got 2 chairs right here, but you can't block the head with the camera with your head. Those 2 chairs are open. Right.
I just wanted to take this time to pay respects to the person who gave us a reason to all be here. Who back in the 60s joined his big brother as a paperboy in Dallas. Eventually started his own newspaper in the 70s. And with his wife, my beautiful mama Susan, ultimately led an over 50-year career in newspaper publishing and serving the Avoyelles community.
At the start of the Avoyelles Journal in 1976, Randy gave a platform to the paperback-wearing writer we all know as Alphonse A. Alphonse. It's been my honor to have had the first glance of the Alphonse columns over the years. Everyone may not have been happy about what Alphonse had to say, but believe me, you should be glad I was there to edit.
You hear that, T-Bill?
And while Randy does know him, no, for the last time, he is not Alphonse.
How do you know?
Yeah, he hasn't even told me his own child, and yes, I'm mad about it. But please, everyone, raise a glass and cheers my dad, the newspaper man who,
For years, took the flack for what Alphonse would write.
Randy.
Pass this around, and if you would like to write a little note to him, I know he'll appreciate it. Thank you for being here.
All right, let's see there. We're going to turn that up just a little bit more so everybody can hear. Okay. So what we have here this evening, what we're going to do is we're going to read a few of the Alphonse articles, but we're also going to open the mic to anyone who wants to speak. And I'm sure there's going to be plenty of them after we read a few of these. So I'm going to find the first article that Alphonse wrote in the paper. And it's this one. See, it would have to be this one. So I'm going to read this one. And I'm going to find some light because, yeah. Oh, wait. And I got my wife's glasses. So there, that's better. So you can kind of see how times have changed. This was from November the 8th, 1978. Beginning in this issue and continuing in each following issue, this column will attempt to keep the readers up to date with happenings in Avoyelles Parish. Topics of this column will center around things like the things that go on in and around Avoyelles, ranging from politics to athletics, social events to non-social events. You pretty much covered that one. The column will be critical where necessary and will give praise when praise is due. In the following weeks, we'll hear from, boy, this is, come here. I want to make sure I say it right because they're going to kick me out of here. There.
Yeah.
Jacques de les Bayou.
Yeah, thank you. That's why I pay him. Hey, and right here.
Cyprien.
Yeah, okay. Dans la maison.
Dans la maison de cour.
Yeah, thank you, Tom. Thank you. I'm glad I brought you. I said, nah, we'll pass it to you. You want to read this? You want to get up here and read? Okay, Alphonse would like to encourage readers to write letters to the Avoyelles Journal, commenting upon this column. Now, as I was going through these, the letters were right on the side, and it was just funny how you would read the letter. I mean, just countering Alphonse, just trashing him. So it's kind of funny to read that. He'd like to remind the readers that this article will attempt to print only facts only facts. Attempt to print only facts. I like that one. That's a wide open. But at times, I will include my opinion. The opinion expressed by Alphonse is not necessarily those of the journal. Now, a few comments for this week. Again, this is November 8th, 1978. Alphonse saw where construction was beginning on some new schools in Avoyelles. It should make the parents of the school children in those areas happy to know that their children will be comfortable in their learning. I remember how hard it was to concentrate on the books when the temperature was up. Congratulations to those areas with new schools on the way up. As far as the other areas, it is your children who will be hurt in the long run. They didn't get all the schools, right? Okay, he's just not looking. Avoyelles Cable TV. Again, 1978. Avoyelles Cable TV has recently offered a feature called Home Box Office to its viewers. HBO offers a series of movies, variety shows, and sports shows for a monthly charge. Alphonse has heard many people complain about foul language and nudity on HBO. Oh my goodness. Boy, if we could turn up the clock, huh? Boy. But would like to remind these people that HBO is optional, as is cable itself. 3 channels. Remember 3 channels? Okay. New homes are being built in every community in Avoyelles. Most of those houses are built quickly because the workers have a backload of work. It confuses many people whom they see how fast a new home is built, yet our new jail is taking forever. Alphonse wonders why. 1978. So with that, who would like to come up here first and maybe make a comment? Come on, people. Come on. Somebody has to come up here. I'm going to take this mic out there. Come on. There's a lot more in here with your name in it.
Listen, I was a favorite of Alphonse, but let me tell you, he really helped me back in 1979 when I first ran. Alphonse called me the Growback candidate. And I said, well, that's Bruyette, that's Barlouville, that's Spring Bayou, hell, that's half the parish. And it was really good. And of course, whenever a politician's name would be, kind of trounced by Alphonse, you'd run to town. Everyone would run to town, shake hands with everybody we could to see who Alphonse was, see who was nice to us. I always went to Raymond Awards because I figured he might have had something to do with it, but he was always nice to me. So God dog and I had to scratch him off. It was just fun having him. You'd get phone calls Sunday morning. You know what he said? Okay, I don't know, but I'm sure it's not good. And it was fun, and it was, we really all tried to guess for 50 years who Alphonse was. He kept it a secret. I said it's a multiple of people. Then I said, no, it's one person. Then I said, hell, he might have died and he's riding from the grave. So we had all kind of things come up. But one of the things that was good, it made a great career for Randy. He had a great newspaper. And everybody, every politician, Sunday morning, you'd get up before daylight to go pick up a newspaper to see what Alphonse wrote about, good or bad. So anyway, thank you, Randy. Congratulations. And Alphonse, que put you yellow Nino, not some honey in a nest.
Thank you very much. All right, we're going to go a few more years up, and this one again has a poll here. Let's talk about the early 80s. I didn't catch a date, but we figured by the writing it had to be around the early 80s. So I'm going to let Terry read this one.
All right, let's see what we have here. This was in the early 80s. It says, Alphonse says he and his friends went on another drinking spree. How y'all land that, eh? And in the process, made another barroom poll. Question number 1. I'm looking at you, Bill. Do you feel that T-Bill is doing a good job? Oh, well, they found out. 15% said yes. Good job, Bill. 40% said they want Potch back. Okay. 45%, and that adds up to 100, says, who's T-Bill? Ça c'est pas bon. In a barroom in Bunkie, they asked, who will be the next mayor of Bunkie? Is it Gardner? No. 50% said Fred, 40% says Mrs. Mayor, 5% said Judge Lee, and 5% asked, where's Bunkie? Another question. Do you feel Reagan's tax cuts will help you? Okay. 20% asked if the tax cuts meant that their tax refund check would be less. 80% asked if their welfare check would be cut. Okay, now we go to football. Who won the jamboree? Yeah, that was you. Okay. 40% said Cottonport, 40% said Marksville, 20% said Simsport. They didn't use numbers then. Gordon and I couldn't put the right numbers. Question number 5. Do farmers complain? Well, here's the answer.
Yes.
50% said yes, they do. Only when there isn't enough rain. 50% said yes, they do. If there's too much rain. No, that right, Tommy. Okay. Who's the most underpaid persons in the parish? 40% said the teachers. Mr. Tommy, that's us, huh? You got it. 40% said the cops. Any police in here? We need security in case something happens. 6% said the garbage collectors. 2% said the people on welfare. And 11% said the bank tellers. Okay? Now, who's overpaid? 80% said the public official. John, Mark, oh yeah, look up. 10% said lawyers. Oh, excuse me, y'all gotta watch. 10% said the women of the evening. Oh, yeah. Now, Alphonse said this was the time of year when the church fairs are in full going. Alphonse cannot understand why all the church fairs are grouped so closely together. You know, we have so much of it. But Alphonse will go to all of them and give a report later on the best of the rest. Hope to see you all there. Okay?
Thank you, Terry. Okay, it can't just be all T-Bill because he's going to come back up here and complain about that one. No? Come on.
There's a lot to complain about.
I hear you. I hear you. Come on, give me somebody. Somebody's got to come up here and say something. Come on up.
John LeBoy, Mark Joseph, where you at? Hey, where you at?
All right.
Somebody's got to Look, we're going to have 2 people. 3. We got 3. Here's first.
I'll talk about John getting arrested at the martial art when he was a kid. He was racing. But like Bill said, I can remember barely. I was a kid, but I can remember when the Sunday paper suddenly rose to prominence, and because Randy came up with Alphonse, even though he wasn't Alphonse, and became great. So I wanted to donate more than $10, so I wrote a check for $100, but I'd like to be the one to burn the bag.
I met Alphonse while I was on the school board. I was on the school board for 26 years. And Alphonse always had positive things to say about the school board. Every now and then he'd cut up on us. But every politician in this parish, like Bill said before, on Sunday morning you would pick up that paper. And whatever was in that paper, you wanted to make sure that you were on the good side and not the bad side. And when you would come to the meeting on that Tuesday, when we'd have the school board meetings, a lot of that stuff that Alphonse had brought up was discussed at the meeting, and a lot of votes changed on Tuesday night from what they were in the previous meeting. So Randy had a lot of impact on with Alphonse, with whatever happened in the parish. He really did. And I in some way, shape, or form, I hope Jay and Daryl sort of keep it in some kind of way, because it keeps all the politicians in check. I believe it does. And we listen to what the people say, and the way we were listening to it was by what was being printed in the paper. So try to bring him some kind of way, shape, or form, try to keep him in the paper some kind of way to keep us all straight. Thank y'all.
Thank you, John. You never told me that when you used to fuss at me. Good speech, good speech.
I was in the back interpreting for all the rednecks. So now you hear the redneck version of how Alphonse came about. And I want you to know that Randy was an intellectual, so this is going to be dedicated to him. I had, as someone who wrote some gridiron shows, any of you remember what a gridiron show is? That's when politicians were roasted and they all laughed. Out at Mocock Community Theater, we had several gridiron shows. And we didn't just roast politicians, we even roasted Alphonse. Here's one thing in 1991 called To the Tune of Puff the Magic Dragon, Fonts the Ugly Baghead. He probably didn't like that. Here's another one in 1999. To the tune of Looking for Love is Looking for Alphonse. And then there's another here too, and I want to be able to have Randy take these. And then here is a poem, The Baghead, with apologies to Edgar Allan Poe. Once upon a midnight jury, Randy published Weak and Weary. Remember those days? Over meeting a quaint and curious edition of forgotten lore, while Randy nearly napping, suddenly there came a tapping, as of someone gently rapping at his print room door. "'Tis some visitor," he murmured, tapping at my print room door, only this and nothing more. Now you're going to find out really how Alphonse came to see Randy. Distinctly, Randy remembers the low cash register tender, and each separate Avoyelles journal wrought its ghost upon the floor. Eagerly he wished to borrow, vainly he had sought a response from new sources, surcease of sorrow for lost readers by the score, like the rare and all-knowing paperback had named Alphonse, discovered thus from folklore. And the silken, sad, uncertain rustling of each roll of print paper, making the printing roar, thrilled him, filled him with fantastic reader numbers never reached before, so that now, to still the beating of his heart, he stood repeating, "'Tis some visitor entreating entrance at my print room door. Some late visitor entreating entrance at my print room door. This it is, and nothing more." Presently his soul, we're talking about Randy, grew stronger, hesitating then no longer. "Redneck," said he, "are Cajun. Truly your forgiveness I implore. But the fact is I was napping, and so gently you came rapping, and so faintly you came tapping at my print room door, that scarce was sure I heard you. Here he opened wide the door. Darkness there and nothing more. Deep into that darkness peering, long he stood there wondering, fearing, doubting, dreaming dreams no publisher e'er dared to dream before. But the silence was unbroken, and the darkness gave no token, and the only word there spoken was the whispered word, Alphonse. This he whispered, and an echo murmured back the word, Alphonse. Merely this and nothing more. Back into the print room turning, all his soul within him burning. Soon he heard again a tapping somewhat louder than before. "Surely," said Randy, "surely that is something at my window lattice. Let me see then where that is, and this mystery explore. Let my heart be still a moment, and this mystery explore. 'Tis the wind and nothing more." Open here he flung the shutter, when with many a flirt and flutter, in there climbed a stately baghead from the saints' windless days of yore. Not the least obeisance made he, not an instant stopped or stayed he, but with mien of lord or lady leaned right by the print room door, leaned upon a stack of unsold papers by the print room door. Leaned, then blinked, and nothing more. Then this brown baghead beguiling his sad fancy into smiling, by the grave but plain decorum of the grocery bag he wore. "Though thy face be hidden and unknown," said Randy, "thou art no raven." Ghastly silent and brown baghead wandering from the bayou shore, "Tell me what thy Cajun name is with your Pachafa lion." Response, quoth the baghead, "Alphonse." Randy marveled at the baghead mainly to hear the single word so plainly, though the answer little meaning, little relevancy bore. For Randy cannot help agreeing that no living human being, sorry Alphonse, ever yet was blessed with seeing Alphonse, he with such ambiance, reporter or journalist or newsman with such nonchalance, with such a name as Alphonse. But he laughed, leaning lonely on the print room door, spoke only that one word, as if his soul in the one word he did outpour. Nothing further did he utter, not a paper bag he fluttered, till Randy scarce more than muttered, other reporters have written here before. On the morrow he will leave me as my hopes have flown before. Then laughed, then backhead said, nevermore. Startled at the stillness broken by a reply so aptly spoken, doubtless, said Randy, what it utters is its only stock in store. Caught from some past publisher whom unmerciful disaster followed fast and followed faster till his column's burden bore. To the dirges of his skill that melancholy burden bore. To gain more reader by the score, to write even more. But the backhead still beguiling Randy's sad soul into smiling. Straight he wheeled a cushioned seat in front of Alphonse near the door. Thereupon, Alphonse comfortably sinking, Randy continued thinking. Fancy unto fancy, linking now, fonts could help print news galore. How many new readers this baghead could generate by the score? Though, thought Randy, forevermore. Randy now sat engaged and guessing, but no syllable expressing to Alphonse, whose now fiery eyes burned into Randy's core. This and more he sat divining, with his head at ease reclining. Now at his publisher with his desk with his velvet lining, the dim light gloated o'er. Alphonse shall write, and more readers read, thought Randy gloating more. I shall print forevermore. Randy thought the air grew denser. Alphonse's column he would never censor. Caused Alphonse to click his shoes on the floor with a nonchalance. Alphonse sighed, Randy, God has sent you for a journal renaissance. Respite from my nightmares of fewer readers and little public response to ignore. Will there be curious readers to enlighten by the score? Quoth the fonts, forevermore. Prophet, said Randy, all-seeing, all-knowing columnist desired and hired. Whether tempter sent or whether tempest tossed thee here ashore. Desperate for scoops, I assign you to write columns until you're tired. In this journal, politicians berated and daunted, skewered and haunted. Is there balm in Gilead for them? Tell me truly, I implore. Quoth the fonts, nevermore. Politicians croak, thing of evil, prophet, show your face, hand if woman or a man. By that heaven that bends above us, by the God we all adore, tell readers with curiosity laden if you tell them what is in store. Alphonse, and how do you know what happens behind the closed door? Readers love you and politicians curse you badly or just ignore. Quoth Alphonse, no response. And now years later, now a word of parting to the best, friend or fiend, says Randy upstarting, get thee back to the Tempest in some other newspaperman's store. Leave no brown bag as a token of secrets thy soul has spoken. Leave Susan and me unbroken. Do not write words in my journal evermore. Take thy pen and paper and throw that bag on the floor. Quoth Alphonse, no response. And Alphonse in spirit still is sitting near the print room door and publisher's desk just as before. And his eyes have all the seeming of a demon's that is dreaming, with the dim light over him streaming his shadow on the floor. And his soul from out that shadow that lies floating on the floor shall be writing nevermore.
Man, that was great. And you had trouble translating French to Cajun French to English and English to Cajun French. But look at this. Look at
I got my share.
Give my hand. Y'all give my hand down.
Way to go, Mr. Tommy. And just think, he tried to teach me some English at Esmahan. It didn't work. Sorry, Mr. Tommy.
And several others here, we know.
Uh-oh.
Okay, we're going to read one or two more of these, and then we're going to have Randy speak for us a little bit. So they got kind of mixed up here, so I have to take this, and we have to see. We read that one, right? We read that one. We read that one. Okay. was one name. Did we read this one? Oh, okay, we got a good one here. It's back in 1983. 1983. So I'm going to read a little bit, then I'm going to point it to you, and you're going to read the rest. How's that? It looks like another poll here, but that's okay. Alphonse says that the entire last week has been spent by making the barroom poll as promised. Randy is always after me to conduct barroom polls, but he doesn't realize that it is expensive, time-consuming, and leaves an awful hangover. But I do agree with Randy that the best way to get the feel of the people is to ask them questions while in a barroom. Here we are. Okay. So here are the poll results. Do school board members get paid? Everyone said yes. Again, it's 1983. Our old drunk said that for there to be many many dollars. Dollars had to be involved. Okay, thank you. See, I'm terrible. Okay. If yes, how much? Everyone said too much. But when I asked for specific amounts, the range was from $500 a month to $1,500 a month. Again, 1983.
How much y'all get paid now?
Don't even
Probably a lot.
Should school board members get paid? Everyone said no, except for the wife of a school board member who for some reason just happened to be in the barroom. If yes, how much? Since almost everyone said no to question 3, there should be no answers to this question. But I asked the question anyway, and the answer ranged from $0 to the members paying to serve instead of receiving pay. Okay. In no, why not? 25% said because to serve is an honor, because the board should, it's underlined, should be trying to improve our schools for our kids. 25% said because the parish is broke. Where have I heard that before? Parish is broke. Yeah, and high salaries mean high taxes. 25% said because most school board members have enough money already. Okay. And let's see, 25% said because there's too much politics on the board. Okay, you're going to take over on this one. Number 6.
Okay, it says, what do school board members do? Hi, Jake. Okay, 45% said they give jobs to their families and friends. 30% said they receive a nice monthly paycheck. Okay, 25% said they work full-time on their real jobs somewhere else. The wife of the member that took after our kids said, yep, all the way to the bank she takes it. Alphonse said that all my born days I have never seen an election of Avoyelles take a backseat to another happening of Avoyelles. But Alphonse says that the police jury's dismissal of Sherwin, I guess that would be Sherwin, is being talked about more than the upcoming school board elections. So Alphonse has the following story about this. Number 1, what's the difference between a dismissal and being fired? Was the $1,800 radio the real reason? Will the hurt Sherwin's chances on the school board race? Was the dismissal political? Who will take Sherwin's place? Has the police jury taken applicants, or will it be a political appointment? Will any other police jury employees be dismissed? Will Sherwin get his job back? Does he want it though? What does Sectres do? How much does he earn? What's the qualifications for a Sectres of the police jury? Do you have to be a school board member? Do you have to have a college degree? Do you have to be the friends of the police jury member? Next week, the school board predictions in Alphonse says.
Stuff just doesn't change. Yeah, we just get grayer. That's about it. Okay, we're gonna open up one more time. Who's got something? Oh, Darling. Yes, you do. Come on. You speak better than you write.
Oh, I don't know about that. Let me say this. I've heard y'all talk tonight about opening the paper on Sunday morning. I've always said that you could have the best story in America, big headlines on the front page, and everybody's turning to page 2 first. Then they'll come back to page 1. And they're talking about the phone calls they got. Trust me, I got them too. Okay, every day. John Lamorne and the sheriff, you know.
Not me.
Not you? Yeah, you called me. So, I can say this, because I've had people accuse me of being Alphonse. I'm not Alphonse, not at all. I used to, I would tell people I was stupid enough to put my name on the columns for weeks. But it always has been fun to see what comes out every Sunday. And the other thing I like about it is it was almost always factual. There was some opinions in them, but most weeks was right. Not the polls, but if Alphonse said something, he usually had the facts to back him up. So that's it. Need Rodney up here to talk.
I was a lawyer, I got everything in copy. And Bill told me to stay out of the way.
Randy, Alphonse, right, Randy. I want to thank you for making my childhood much more memorable. Each Sunday, my father would walk down the sidewalk in his underwear, and he would go to pick up the Journal, of course. And occasionally, I would get an extra expletive when he picked up the paper. But all jokes aside, it was what Randy and Susan have done, Alphonse, and of course whoever's ultimately back there. The humor, the sarcasm, as John pointed out, the influence, the positive influence that Alphonse and of course the Journal have contributed to the parish, I think overall made us a much better place. So thank you for all you do.
Acknowledge that guy. Everybody talk about Randy, now I'm acknowledging this guy.
Well, I'm a fairly newcomer compared to Bill and the other ones when they're talking about the 70s and the 80s. I was out of diapers by then, but not by much. But one thing I have realized is Alphonse must use Eureka math, because when the little bit I've been there when he writes about the numbers and the values of the property, it has to be Eureka math he's using. So one day when you're retired, we can go over some numbers if you want.
Yes, sir.
But I came here for 2 reasons tonight. Number one is to help put the nail in this coffin, but I can't find a hammer and I don't see any nails, so we're not too successful with that. And number 2, I've always heard of 3 people were Alphonse. I'm not being too successful tonight as I'm talking to people. I haven't found out any yet. I just want to know if one is dead or if all 3's dead, but maybe we'll discuss that later too. But congratulations on getting to this milestone in your life, and I wish the best wherever life takes y'all in your retirement. Y'all enjoy it. Thank you, Randy.
Okay, we'll read one more and we're talking to Randy over here. Oh, wait a minute. Come on up here. Oh, yeah. Thank you for saying that. Let's give him a little time to come up here. You know? I see that.
I got nothing to say. I don't like funerals, Randy. Is this yours or Alphonse's?
It's Alphonse's.
And do I get Alphonse's succession?
Twice in here.
Is this coming through? I can't tell.
Speak up.
Hello.
Close.
And T. Bill, the jail. It was going slow. That was Brent Scallon's fault.
I know, it was him. Where is he at anyway, Brent Scallon?
Anyway, I had a different relationship with Alphonse A. I was Alphonse's lawyer for what? How many years?
Forever.
We literally went to every court in the land, including the United States Supreme Court on the case. And as a result, Randy belongs to the I Will Rodney Rivalry for the Rest of My Life Club. So I assume you're buying me dinner tonight.
Of course.
Anyway, it was a pleasure representing you. It was a pleasure defending Alphonse. I have his diary, but I'm not going to publish it until after I die. I have all the people that told him everything. Bill, it's too bad. You're probably going to die before me. So you won't know. It'll be a posthumous book.
We're taking on.
But after that works. Anyway, congratulations, Randy. I'm glad you're retired. Garland, it was a pleasure representing you also. I saved you a couple of times. I saved you. I don't see anybody that sued you, Randy. I think they're all dead.
We won. Rodney, a question. How could you represent Alphonse and represent me without a conflict of interest?
I had a conflict, Bill. I ignored it.
Okay, good. That's all I wanted to know.
Because I acted as mediator. Remember how many times you called me that goddamn Randy the Queer? Can you please arrange for me and Booger to go meet with him so we can get rid of Alphonse, or,
What I said, he must have fell on his head.
No, you would cuss him out, and that little vein would pop out, and Randy would just sit there and listen.
Good
Susan, by the way, we all know that you're the one who did all the work. And I don't know how many of you have heard this joke before, but it applies to Randy and his relationship to you in the journal. Randy was fishing one day, and a little bottle came by. And a genie popped out. The genie said, "You got 3 wishes." He said, "Well, my first wish is I was on a tropical island." Poof, he was on a tropical island. The next wish, got the second wish, what do you wish? "Oh, I wish I had some tubs full of Budweiser beer with ice and a lot of girls in bikinis running around." Poof, there was the ice, the beer, the girls in the bikinis. The genie said, "Now, Randy, take your time. This is your last wish." He said, "Man, I wish I never had to work again." Poof, he was back in the journal.
Thank you, Rodney. Okay, I'm going to read this one. Alphonse says, March of 2023. Now we reset. This is an editor's note. Alphonse received the following love letters. T-boy, qui t'est tapé ça? On Valentine's Day. Mrs. Alphonse wanted to know who it's from, but Alphonse says he does not know. Here's a letter so everyone can read it. My dearest Alphonse, since you don't come to my house anymore on Sunday mornings, I have to look for you on Wednesday. On this Valentine's Day, I reflected on how much I love you and some of the ways I don't love you that much. I love you because you tell it like it is. I love you because you keep the politicians on their toes. Right there. Okay? I love you because your paper makes a good bird cage liner. Yeah. I love you because you fight for the little guy. I love the paper bag on your head. I love your official barroom pose. I love to read the column when I'm sitting in the Cajun. But, I don't love your sarcasm sometimes. I don't love your democratic learnings. I don't love the way you don't capitalize names. I don't love the way you made Mrs. Alphonse pedal the pirogue. I don't love the way you pick on some of my favorite politicians, but I do love the way you pick on some of my unfavorite politicians. But most of all, I love you because you kept a secret in Avoyelles. Sign your secret admirer. Oh, Alphonse.
Given that, I'd like to bring up Randy the Queer. I'm going to call you kind of Mr. Avoyelles. I'll go with that. We'll go with Mr. Avoyelles. That's how I stand up for Randy.
Thank you, Todd. Thank you, everybody, for showing up.
this was Todd's idea, most of this, and what a working relationship between the media, fantastic. And I've got so many people who want to think about it real quick, and then I'm going to list the name of the people over the years, like Sookie with a $sign. But thank you, Jay, for letting me retire. And I try to give him some advice. He says, "Shh, that's all right. I know what to do already." But anyway, all your staff, and I think Amy was here earlier. Garland over the years. Hey, Garland, do you remember? Oh yeah, do you remember when we would be missing an Alphonse column sometimes? Hey, Garland, I need a letter. So once in a way, Nico.
I knew I'd get a shot.
And Terry, you covered school board and police, Jerry.
Football games.
Football games, everything. You were it for the longest.
And Gordon.
That's right. That was the A team right here. Oh man. Anyway, I wanted to just that one right there. That wife of 50 years. That's number one. And my daughter. She said, "You can't put that in, Alphonse," so we'd scratch it out. So, anyway, I just wanted to quickly go over this list of names, of these nicknames. The Little King was the number one. Bill Belt had that name. He was in charge of Avoyelles Parish. Mr. Eddie No, he over DA for over 30 years, in Jeanette, of course. Raymond Laborde, the powerhouse that would run the state, and you go in there and you have to buy a pair of socks to get a job or something. You ask him a favor. But he was Dr. Mayor Michel. That was the nickname for Dr. Michel. Dr. Mayor, the old mayor. Huh? King John Lemoyne. One of the funniest people I've ever known. Ford DeFreeman, Senator Dr. Hines, a great man, Lady Monica, and which makes me think that he'd call you Lady Julie, who saved made that wonderful charter school. Mayor Sleepy, Kenneth Pickett. King Leo, the original king, Leo A. Hartford, who ran at Simsport for decades, for 50 years, I think. Lord Kirby, and boy, I missed Kirby. Where's he at? We didn't see him tonight. He's one of the later names. Was Lord Kirby and Jay had a lot to think about for the homeroom charter. But Judge Mike, I remember him. That's the one that sued us, Rodney. Judge Mike. Sambo. Potch, the one and only. Sookie with the $sign. Where's Lee Teveno? Boy, Alphonse used to say, "Where's Lee?" Was never at the courthouse. Cadillac Connie, Colonel Jones, Glenn Good O. Or Gobsado, and Glenn was a great friend. Glenn was a great friend. Judge Digger and Little Charlie. In the Clouds, Heather. State Rep Daryl, he got a $sign too. EWE, the governor, who Raymond used to watch his checkbook when Raymond was Commissioner of Administration. I think it was Sookie told me, thank God we got Raymond in there watching it, would tell him no a little bit. But in so many, is anybody here that was mentioned at Alphonse column? Please raise your hand or stand up. We got. Oh yeah, Tommy Batty. And where's Mr. Borrell? John. Mark. Mr. Johnson. Ben, you weren't ever in there? You never did anything wrong? I'll be somebody. And Jay was in there once, he told me. Anyway.
I spelled my name wrong, but that's all right.
Oh, hey boy. Anyway, what else I'm forgetting to say, Susan? Are y'all ready to get on with? thanks to Jay and that staff. Thank you. Working for no pay like I used to. Volunteering to keep the newspapers going in Avoyelles Parish. Thank you, Jay.
Brent, just one other thing. I remember.
This is Cat Warlock.
No.
Roy.
No, I remember Randy as a very young boy going to Carl and Marion Grimmion's The Weekly News there in the building that y'all would be in, you're in right now, and just working tirelessly on everything. Randy, do you remember that? As a young boy with Carl and Marion Grimion, you just were just a kid working in that office and just never stopped. And I mean, I don't know if people knew that you were making your way towards owning it, but that was there's a lot of memories there. You're a very hard worker as a young boy.
That's a long time ago to be a young boy. Tell me what.
I can't thank you enough, Todd, for all you've done.
We're all good. We're all good. We came back here in the parish, and then we could have settled anywhere in the world, but we wanted to settle here because we love the people here, and we love this man right here. We love Randy the Queen. So some people said, look, we want to make damn sure this guy doesn't come back. That's what we heard. So who was it had that $100? Who put that $100 in? Where'd he go? Where'd he go?
He left.
He left?
He left with his 100.
All right. Come here, Randy. So,
I think T-Bill should.
and I'm looking right at Randy, T-Bill, come on up here.
Bill, you're the best one.
I know Jeanette Noel would be here.
So again, and if y'all don't mind, come gather around up here. Y'all come gather around up here. We're going to put this thing to rest. This thing. This person. We'll go with this person. So, without further ado, what I'm going to do is hand this to you. Right over this. Right over this. Randy, can I have you for a second?